Hey, good evening, everyone. Chris and Tammy here. We're excited to share this webinar this evening. We have some very, very special guests. I know Eve is just around the corner here, about to join us. I think she's here. I think she's here.
There
Here
we
we are.
go.
There she is.
Yay.
There she is. So
Love
it's
all the colors.
yeah. So we'll have a wonderful, wonderful webinar this evening. But folks, hey, before we begin, just love to recognize all of you that are showing up here bright and early. Pawan, welcome. Bakshir, great to have you here from Bangladesh, I believe. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We have 1, 2, 3, Lewis. Welcome from Canada. Great to have you here. Let's see. We have Marie-Paul from Ottawa, Canada. Welcome, welcome. We have Richard from Louisiana. We have Rob. Great to have you here, Rob. Let's see. Enyonam, this is late for you. Thank you for joining in from Accra, Ghana. Let's see here. We have. Let's keep going down. We have Michelle. Great to have you here from Mississauga, Ontario. We have Robert. We have Kerry. Great to have you here from now North Carolina. Now,
Yay.
welcome.
Great,
Peter
yeah.
Newell, welcome, sir. Great to have you here with us. Let's see here. I think Rodney already said hi. Robert, great to have you here. Rockstar, great to have you. Let's see. Evertone from Jamaica, welcome. Sylvie from Quebec, bienvenue, Sylvie. We have Andres, great to have you here from South Africa. We have Evan, great to have you. Talma, Tony, Esther, great to have you here. We have Gary, we have Tissa, we have, I think Michael already mentioned you. Andres, I mentioned you. I could go on and on and on here, Alan, and great to have you guys here. It's absolutely wonderful. Tonight we'll have a fun webinar. But I mean, just before we get Joel and Eve to share, explain to the audience here, how do we get introduced to GotBackup?
Yeah, for sure. Right. Chris and I, we've known Joel for many, many years. And we've been in the network marketing industry for 25 plus years, building global businesses, having a lot of fun, traveling, and all of that stuff. And we watched Joel grow in the online business, and he became very successful doing that. And he contacted us just out of the blue. It was really nice to hear from him. He said he was so excited about this Got Backup project that he was starting, and it was going to be massive. So he asked if we were open to have a look at it, and of course we looked at it, and here we are. And it's almost 2 years in May that we've been part of the Got Backup project, and we got a chance to get to know Eve, and an absolute wonderful lady.
Absolutely
Yes,
wonderful. We look
so
forward to
supportive. We
we look
love
forward
the
to hear from them.
support.
And folks, again, Tammy and I've been traveling the world, and we have friends from all over the globe. We know that economy has changed and things have changed, and we saw an opportunity at Power Families with an opportunity with massive growth, massive success, and we'll cover that in a minute. And we really saw that it was time to turn your dreams into reality. And the fact is, why are you here? Some of you are here saying, well, I'm tired of working and I'm tired of worrying about my retirement. I'm tired about what's going to happen in the future. And maybe that is a place that can actually really help you deal with all of these things. For example, I love these pictures here. You see here the family and the father showing off the new keys, set of keys. They just bought their brand new home with a beautiful daughters. What about going to a vacation where you want to, not where you can afford to? I think we can all relate to that at one point in time. What about bringing new families that are member? You know, you go to the grocery stores, it's not what it used to be, right? So we think about, can we afford having another child, right? What if that was not an issue? What about retirement, as I mentioned earlier, right? Got Backup could be the opportunity that can help you feed that area. As we know, that after the pandemic days, you know, a lot of investments have been slashed because of what's going on with our economy. So again, Got Backup could be that for you. So again, we saw an opportunity to empower families.
Yeah, and what I love about I love the industry of network marketing because it helps average people. And with Got Backup, it's all about helping average people to create an above average lifestyle. I think everybody really dreams of that, to having that above average lifestyle, but they just don't know what's out there, and they're afraid of, some of the stuff that's out there. And so it's a great way to bring some extra money into your family, and to do whatever you want. That's what I love about it, and the choices that we get.
That's the goal. And in fact, this is when we met Joel.
Yeah.
Joel began in 1997. I'll let him share his story here, and Eve can share also a little bit of the vision of what's going on with the company. But folks, this is when I met him, and I remember where I needed a hosting service to be able to host my very first website. And that was supports my team, because I kept sending emails every day for people that needed stuff. Now I had a website where people can download stuff from. And this is how it all started. I remember Joel telling me that the fiber optic infrastructure that they had at the time could not support the growth that they had, and they saw massive more growth happening. So that's when they said, well, we're going to move to Texas. And as a matter of fact, Tammy and I are here today. You can see our backgrounds a bit different, right? It's a 10,000 square feet data center. Absolutely amazing. So at this point, Joel and Yeve, I would love for you guys to kind of step in and maybe share the vision and how secure this is and how an amazing service and opportunity this is for everybody.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, Chris and Tammy. And first and foremost, guys, you got to take shots in life. Like Wayne Gretzky says, the only shots you miss are the ones you don't take. And I always admired Chris and Tammy for what they've done in the network marketing industry. These two have truly, there's a lot of embellishers in this industry, but they've truly made millions and millions of dollars in this industry. And so I almost didn't reach out. When we met back in 1997, Chris and Tammy left a very big impression on me with their professionalism, their drive, their transparency, their honesty, and things like that. So, I always wanted to work with them. And I saw what they were doing in their other company and doing extremely well. And, for a couple of weeks, I'm like, do I, don't I, do I, don't I? Okay, Joel, stop the analysis paralysis and what the heck, send the guy a text message. So my understanding is they were flying in from somewhere around the world because I do a lot of traveling in this industry. And when he landed, he got my text message and we connected. So to both of you, thank you from the bottom of our hearts, both Yeve and I, for what we're doing and so forth. And, it's okay, Yeve. So Eve's at home. We're animal lovers. They're you can't control the pets in the house. And that's one of the wonderful, lovely things of network marketing as well, guys, is you get to do it from home. Like Chris and Tammy said, they live half their life, half their time in Toronto, and then their other half in Daytona Beach. They've got a beautiful place there as well. And just a few days ago, they hopped on a flight and joined us here in San Antonio for our big event that's coming this Saturday, guys. Don't miss this Saturday. I've got so many cool new features that we're going to show you, new packages that are going to generate a lot more income and commissions for you guys. So I know Chris asked me to talk a little bit more about the security. I will in just a moment. But guys, the number one thing in network marketing is your relationships. And I can't thank those two enough. So Yeve, anything you'd like to say?
Of course. Thank you
You're
so
muted.
much.
Oh, now you're not. Go ahead.
Can you hear me? Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. So yeah, first of all, just thank you so much for having me here. I really enjoyed being on the webinars, and thank you so much, Chris and Tammy, for your great presentation of me and Joel. Like you so much for coming to see us. It's a great pleasure to get. It's not the first time we are meeting in person, but it's like, like it's second time for me, and I appreciate you even more, and I have more respect for you because when you spend some time together, you get to learn a person together, and I can be more than happy to have you with us in GotBackup. And Christian today, he asked me today, we were just chatting in the office a little bit, and Christian asked me about the what motivates us, like me, Joel, starting the GotBackup. What exactly is our motivation? And I've been thinking about that, and I think that the most motivation I get from this is just the customers. When they join, they put a lot of trust in us, right? So they place lots of trust in us, and every time someone chooses GotBackup, I see it as they say, I believe you will be there for me when it counts, right? Because in digital world where data loss can mean losing like years of precious memories, a very important critical business documents, projects, whatever case might be, and I'm very deeply driven by the knowledge that we are there to protect what matters to people the most. And it's not complicated. And I want GotBackup to be known not only for the cloud storage technology, but for the most part for our reliability, for transparency, for the human touch. And either you're like a single user or a business owner protecting sensitive data, I want GotBackup to feel like a trusted partner, that we are always there for you, that we are always working in the background. Yeah. So this is my short version of vision and motivations. And yeah, let's go. Let's start it rolling again.
Yeah, exactly. And so guys, you know, we'll talk a little bit more about the security, but it's extremely secure. Our server room, which you'll see a video, I don't know if we're playing that tonight. We when Chris and I and all of us were talking, we said let's just have a little bit more of an all fun webinar. And yeah, so my motivation as well is I absolutely love to help people. You know, I've done many events over the years, and when somebody comes up to you and gives you a big hug because you've helped transform their life, and it really doesn't take much to help transform somebody's life, especially in today's economy. I know it's getting a little bit better, but with all the inflation, you know, sometimes when people make even an extra $500 to $800 a month, it's completely life changing for those people.
Absolutely.
And that's why we put GotBackup together at a $9.97 per month price point. One, it's extremely competitive. We actually offer more for way more value for less money than everybody else. And it's a great business opportunity that anybody anywhere in the world can afford. And as such, guys, we're in 154 countries. I believe that's the number right now around the world. And there's 191 countries worldwide. So we've touched, you know, so many people around the world. And the other part, like you've said, it's so simple to understand, right? You know, there's a lot of opportunities in the crypto space and affiliate marketing space, but it's very hard to grasp exactly what are you selling and what are you doing. I can talk to just about anybody, and the simple conversation is, do you back up your stuff? And many people do, and a lot of people don't, but they know that they should. So here, it just makes it a fair, honest, no-brainer business model, because everybody should be backing up their stuff. They all have computers. They all have one of these, and $10 a month is nothing, guys. Like when my wife and I, we went out last night, we took Chris and some other great friends, Ed Chiquin and his beautiful wife, Gay, out. And, you know, one drink is $10, more than $10, you know? So you go out with two drinks with a family member, that's $20 right there. Our opportunity is less than $10 a month. And we purposely wanted to make it that way because it makes it an opportunity, a product that everybody needs, and a business opportunity that anybody can afford in the world. So like Esther said, it's so easy to promote, you know? It's very easy to promote. So I know I didn't get too much into the security there, Chris. I kind of go off the cuff a little bit.
No, by all means, take your time.
I wanted to share with people, you know, our vision. Guys, we will become a $1 billion brand. You know, we're adding more and more features to our cloud on a weekly basis. I'm super excited to show you all the new things that are going to be coming out in April on this webinar this Saturday. And we chose this Saturday because April 4th will be our 2-year anniversary since launching GotBackup. So the other unique thing, guys, that I want you to understand is even though GotBackup is a relatively new product, it's backed by a company that's been around since 1997 that Chris explained at the start. So we are a completely debt-free organization. We own our building, we own our routers, we own our servers, we own everything. We don't have any creditors at all. And so it's a rock solid opportunity with, you know, you got Chris and Tammy and myself who know a lot about the industry, but collectively, you know, hundreds of years of experience between all our staff, and we couldn't be happier. And that's what, like I said, when people do sign up with us, it really warms our heart to know, like Yves said, that people are trusting us with their data. And guys, we will never, ever lose your data. You'll see that in the video. Are we playing the video tour today, Chris?
I can certainly do that. So just carry on, and I'll get it.
Well, I'm into the verbal diarrhea because I love the webinars, guys. And thank you to Chris and Tammy for taking over. And I'll just reiterate why they're taking over, guys, is we're at a critical phase where we realized that our internal server room network had to be upgraded from 1 gig E to 100 gig E. So I've been very hard working with the development team, the technical team, to make sure that happens in a timely fashion. We're in the last stages of testing all of that, and very soon I'll be able to come back to doing more webinars. But every time Chris and Tammy say, you want to do a webinar? I'm like, let's do it. I love it. I love connecting with people. So anyway, I'll turn things back over to you, Chris and Tammy. So thank you, everybody, for being here. Thank you, Tammy and Chris, for showing up every time, for having the great leadership that you have, and you know, showing and leading by example. We love you both very much, and we'll turn it over to you for a little bit.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Yves. Thank you, Joe. Really appreciate it. Well, don't go anywhere because we'll come back to you guys. But here's the video here, folks, so you can get a better idea of what's going on.
Hey, guys, welcome to the corporate office of GotBackup. Now, everybody wants to know, are we super secure? And how do we offer such an amazing service at such a low price? So this is I hear the video, but I don't see it.
Now, for some particular reason,
of our server room to show
There
you
we
just
go.
how
There
secure it is, and we welcome you into the family. So let's go over to the
Apologies for
server
that.
room. So the first thing I want to explain to you guys is that we're fully PCI compliant. For physical PCI compliance, what does that mean? It means we're allowed to physically store credit cards in our data center because we're uber secure. So we've passed all the tests for that, and we're legally allowed to store credit cards and your storage. So one of the first requirements for PCI compliance is you have to have 2 coded doors before you get into your server room. We also, as a company, like to have fun, so we call it Area 51. So anyway, I'm going to code this door with my back here so you guys can't see what the code is. Come in this way. This is a simple inventory room, guys. We build servers here and so forth. And then our second coded door is over here, okay? And so we have a coded door here as well to get into the server room. So here we are in the server room, guys. This is where all the magic happens. So a couple of things people ask. Joel, how secure is my data, and could you ever lose our data? So as an example, let's come here. It's impossible to lose your data, and here's why. If you look at this storage array, and we have, hundreds of storage arrays in here, there's 14 hard drives across this storage array. 4 of these hard drives could fail, which statistically never happens, but let's say it did. 4 of these hard drives need to fail before we start to lose some data. But guess what? We're not going to lose any data because this is striped to here. This whole rack of hard drives here is copied here. Just the same here. All these hard drives here are copied here. So there's not a single point of failure relative to your data. There's also no single point of failure in the server room. As an example, there's A power and B power. Every server is plugged into A power. Every server is plugged into B power. Also, relative to cooling of this room, if you come over here, you'll see we have 1, 2, 3, 4 air conditioners in this server room. So the air is never going to be a problem. The other thing as well is we're very, very efficient. If you look up at the ceiling, let's come back over here, you'll see vents up there, and the cold air is strategically placed in front of the servers here, so it sucks in all the cold air, and it goes over into the hot aisle behind this wall here. So very, very efficient server room as well. And finally, if God forbid there was ever a fire in this room, we have here what's called a fire suppression system. What this system does, it's just a bunch of electronics behind here, but we can open it up, okay, is if God forbid there was a fire, and in 25 years there's never been a fire, but it will snuff out all the oxygen in this room. If there's no oxygen, then the fire goes out, right? So we don't use water to destroy the equipment. So that's the basics of the server room. Super, super secure and super redundant relative to your data. So the other aspect to security is we use the exact same security as Amazon, as Google, as all the big players, Microsoft. It's patented security, it's military grade, 256-bit encryption security. So your stuff is very secure. So let's come out of the server room for now.
So just so you know here, folks, that video is available in the back end. And I don't know why things are a little bit slow here today. Let's try this again. There we go. And, there's 2 major trends that is a very, very important to follow. And if you're an investor or if you're looking into an opportunity to spend your time and money, and understand also, Jason, I got your questions. You can pause for a moment. This is not a tax audit. This is an actual presentation, so don't worry so much about it. All the information is there. But folks, there are 2 global trends here that you need to consider as you build this business. Number 1, Tammy, let's talk about the global trend 1.
Yeah, and you could see on the chart here, almost 15 billion devices out there in the world. And what is everybody doing? They're filling it up. They're taking pictures. They're taking videos. They're saving documents. They're loading up their devices, and they're getting annoying messages, which we'll share with you later, that everybody's so tired of seeing. But it's such a massive, massive trend.
And that's absolutely correct. And folks, if you look at the percentage of global mobile traffic, I know 2011, 2023 is a bit older, but I want you to see the curve that's going on from 2011 to 2023, 6% to 60%. Let's look at a chart that's a bit more up to date. right? Size of cloud storage market worldwide from 2022 to 2030 here, folks. We're talking 90 billions in revenue and now $500 billion, folks. If you're looking for an indicator, you're looking for some indicator that tells you this is a good place to park your money or to invest your time, these are very, very strong indicator. If you look at a company like Dropbox, who has over 700 million users, folks, we need a little tweezer of that. And we're going to have a lot of people with massive income opportunity with GotBackup. And we're just getting started. Let's talk about the cell phone addiction.
Yeah, we always say cell phone addiction. But at the end of the day, everybody is using their phones for everything. I'm always on my phone. I always use my phone. If I leave it somewhere, I go grab it and bring it back. We use it to tap, to do our purchases. We use it for alarms. We use it for everything. And I know all of you can relate to that. But there's one thing on here. It says 57% bring their phones on date night. Don't pick up your phone on date night. That's my recommendation to all of you. It's very important to have that connection when you're in a relationship, for sure.
I totally agree with Tammy. And folks, and because of the fact that we're using so much of this data, this precious data, where data loss is a growing concern. I mean, we had a friend just recently who lost her phone. Think about it, folks. You lose your device, and the fact here is, I mean, this is a piece of your soul that is in your device, and it's gone forever. I mean, 45% of cell phone users have accidentally damaged their cell phones or lost their data. That's quite significant, folks. This is close to half a population. 5,700 screens are cracked every hour. Laptop, cell phone stolen every 43 seconds. Here's another message that's a bit irritating, especially when you're in a moment when you take a picture.
Yeah, and Chris and I got these messages regularly until we learned about GotBackup. Of course, it's much easier, and people are tired of seeing these messages. They either have to remove some of the precious documents, memories, whatever, or they have to pay more money. So we're going to share with you something very valuable with GotBackup.
Absolutely, and the second trend here, folks, is I think it's no secret that the entire world is going to a shift when it comes to the opportunity, folks. And the bottom line here is that we need to to be conscious of the changes that's happening in the world, right? So the second trend is making more money, folks. 42%, I may focus on North American market, have side businesses. 62% of Gen Z, 18 to 25. These are our kids, have side businesses. What about the rest of the world, folks? This is what's happening. That we have an opportunity that is a price point that is so affordable. We'll come back to that. But in the same time, it has massive, massive, massive growth opportunity for every single one of us. That's exciting. See, we can leverage these global trends with GotBackup. That's what it's all about. That's why we're very, very excited about this. Let's talk about our product.
Absolutely. This is the exciting part. 6 terabytes of data storage. On your account, you can have 5 additional members, so 6 accounts on your account, and you can even choose how much you want to give to a family member. It's a great family option. And of course, unlimited devices, all of this for $10. When we heard about it, we're like, this is unbelievable value. And then of course, home-based business on top of it. You get compensated by telling other people about this great opportunity of having all this storage, right? That the other competitors are not giving you this value.
And if you look at the competitors, folks, the main 3 is iCloud, Dropbox, Google Drive. They're all within the $10 a month, 2 terabytes. And folks, we're offering 3 times the space for the same amount of money. And again, unlimited amount of devices, which is very, very, very exciting. If you look at the yearly package, right? And I know that, don't quote me on these, folks, because things are changing. I know this weekend we'll have some incredible announcements that are going to be announced. I know we're excited about it. Folks, iCloud, Dropbox, and again, Google Drive, again, per year, 360, 660, 260. And I know, don't quote me this amount. It could vary from time to time. But folks, we're $999.97, 6 terabytes. So everything included, that is absolute. And folks, it goes way beyond that. You'll see there's so much more than cloud service that we offer here. Let's summarize what we got here.
Yeah, so 6 terabytes of data storage, $997 per month, or you can choose to pay for the year and save a couple months of payments. That includes up to 6 people on your account. and any device, and you got a chance to see this security, which is really cool, transparency, and we're right here being able to see it live, so it's kind of cool. And you know what, it's a 30-day money back guarantee as well, so it's definitely an opportunity that you don't want to miss.
Now, let us show you how simple it is to install. And we have a little video here. There's 2 apps when you install this, and stick to the end because I'll show you exactly how I'm organized here. But let me show you how simple it is to install this on the app. Let's check this out.
This is a quick walkthrough of how to install your GotBackup app onto your mobile device. In this case, I'm using the Android Galaxy, but the process is the same also on an iPhone. So to download your app, there's 2 ways to do this. You can either come to the Play Store. On an iPhone, it's called just the App Store, and just search for GotBackup. And there it is. Or we could come to our members area and go to use this tool, and then you will see it here on your dashboard. So again, I'm using my Android device. So I'm going to go ahead and click this, and it's going to take me to my Google Play Store. If you're on an iPhone, it will take you to your App Store on your iPhone device. So I'm going to go ahead and install that. Awesome. I'm going to go ahead and open it. It's going to ask you to log into your account. Go ahead and allow all your notifications so it could let you know that everything's being uploaded properly, and go ahead and put in your unique ID. Once logged in, you will be asked to let GotBackup access your photos and videos on your mobile device. Select Allow. Without having to do anything, an Android upload folder was automatically created for me. Neat! If you are on an iPhone, the folder will be called iPhone Upload. Now, depending on how many photos and videos is on your device, your first backup might take some time. So it is highly recommended that your device is on a charger and is connected to Wi-Fi. It is a good idea to start your first backup in the evening and keep your GotBackup app open and let it back up overnight. One more thing I'd like to point out. If I tap on these 3 little lines on the top left corner and tap on Settings, you will see these 3 boxes under Monitor are automatically checked. Auto Upload will automatically upload all future photos and videos taken on your device to your GotBackup cloud. Camera Roll Upload will back up all existing photos and videos that are stored on your device to your GotBackup cloud. And Upload Only on Wi-Fi will only back up your data while connected to Wi-Fi. If you have an unlimited data plan, you can uncheck this. So if I come to my gallery, I'm going to have a slew of pictures from over the years. This is actually Joel's phone, so if I come to my albums, I have almost 1,400 pictures. Alright, so if I come to my app, come back to my menu and click Transfers, you're going to see all my pictures now are uploading. Since this might be a large upload at first and I have a low battery, it's highly recommended that you plug into a power source. So I'm going to do that right now. Alright, now that's finished. We can now see that our Android upload has all been categorized by what year these photos were taken. These were taken in 2021. And this was just recently. So that's pretty much it. Pretty easy, pretty straightforward.
Isn't it, folks? And this is what we love about it. This is the only cloud storage that pays you. And that's where if someone says, well, why should I consider you? What about, Google Drive or whatever? And the fact here is, again, we're not saying we're better than everybody else, but we're offering an opportunity. So you get compensated for telling others about a service that has amazing, amazing value. So right now, what we're going to do is we're just going to tap very quickly on how do we make money. Again, we're just going to stay on the surface here for you to have a general idea. Go ahead, Dan.
Yeah, so you can see that there's 7 ways here, but we're really going to focus on the 3 that are highlighted. And so number 1 is their customer acquisition bonus, the CAB. And so customer acquisition bonus, that's when somebody decides they want to become a member. And if they become a member, they decide to pay monthly, you're going to get 200% upfront. That blew me away when we heard that. That was very exciting. And then if they decide to do it for a year upfront, then you get 50%. And then it's 25% on all VIP or any packages they're going to roll out in the future. It's going to be 25%. You can see on the bottom part, it talks about customers only. So you're going to get 25% on all personally enrolled customers. So I'm going to make a couple examples. One for people who decide to become a member. 200% is the people who paid $10, right? So you get $20 for 20 people. That's $400 in commission, and you're not limited to the amount of people that you can bring into the company. And the timing couldn't be better. I mean, it's just starting. People are just starting to hear about GotBackup. And so if you had 20 customers, 25%, and we're just kind of rounding it off. It's $250 times 20 people. That's $50 ongoing monthly to have 20 customers. And if you keep bringing in customers, you're going to increase your income.
I totally agree, Tammy. And the second thing we want to talk about is the cycle earning. And just so you understand what cycle earning is we have a 2-team tree. We have a left team and a right team. When you see indirect referral, that's someone that's happens to be sharing the same leg as you that might be applying to you. That person was introduced into your team without really knowing who they are. Just as you see underneath, there's a direct, that's someone that you've introduced, that the person who's indirect that you don't know of also will benefit from. That's what's so powerful. So let's talk about the cycle bonus, folks, because this is really exciting. The cycle earning comes in 2 tiers. They're tier 1 and tier 2. Step 1 is remain active. Just like you're paying for your Netflix or Apple, Disney Plus, whatever, right? As long as you pay for the service, you have access to the service. Same thing here. The second thing is you need to enroll 2 people, one on your left side, one on your right side. That's what you need to do. It's not really hard, right? $10 a pop, right? And number 3, to activate the cycle, folks, you need to have a total of 6 members in your team, okay? At least 2 has to be brought in by you. So it's a ratio of 4 to 2, what you see here. It's just 4 person on one side or 2 on the other. It doesn't matter what side that is, and you're going to generate a cycle, folks. The question is, how many cycles do you want? That's the culture you want to build within your organization. This is what Tammy and I teach. And the fact here, folks, is the cycle value will be dependent on the company's profitability and also your rank, which I'll come back to a little bit later. Now, here's something that's really exciting. It's called the matching match, the cycle match. This is every time you introduce someone to GotBackup. Think about this. Every time you introduce someone to GotBackup, they're all going to be earning cycles if they build their business. Would you like to receive a matching cycle? For example, when you reach Sapphire, you start receiving 25%. Example, if you'd say you sponsored Tammy or me or anybody, and these people cycle 100 times, that's 25 cycles. Whatever the cycle of worth is, then that's the income you will receive, okay? Up to a maximum of $1,000. Now, let's say you want to hear more because that person cycles a whole lot more, then you have to move up in rank. And there's a lot of trainings, and it's so simple to move up in rank. But look at these numbers, folks. From $1,000 up to $20,000. Now, I'm not saying that this is what you're going to make. This is the ladder of success as you start helping folks building their businesses. Think about it, folks. Go back to Dropbox, who have 700 million users. Do the math. Look at the possibilities, folks. That's the vision that we have. You know, there's a saying that data is the new oil. Folks, this is very, very serious. And we're just right now a small pond in a big, big ocean. And I'm telling you, it's going to grow and grow. And there's 4 other different options to earn an income. The cycle generation bonus, the generation bonus. You know, when people say, you know, I have one big side, but the other side didn't really take off. You know, you can benefit from the big side because of that bonus. The dynamic compression bonus, it's even the same, but it goes deeper in your business. Rank bonus pool is as you move up in rank, you get a bonus just for doing that. Folks, this is a very, very generous and fair compensation plan that will pay the person that is actually invested in building their business. How simple it is to build this.
Oh my gosh, it's so simple. So you just get set up, you get signed up, and you bring in your first 2, and you put one on the left and one on the right, just like Chris was showing, the 2-team structure. Go and do the same thing. One more on the left, one more on the right. And the moment you put your first left, first right, you are a copper. And we really duplicate that. That's the whole thing about duplicate the simplest thing ever, and you'll have many people doing it. And that's our concept.
Endless possibilities. Absolutely, Andres. You absolutely love that. How much
Yeah.
does it cost to start?
$20 annual fee is so little. And of course, you decide you want to go monthly, you want to go yearly. We got the yearly highlighted because most people will decide to do it for a year up front because they save a couple months of payments.
I totally agree. I recommend a yearly package. It's
Yeah.
great, phenomenal value. How many countries do we have services clients right now?
154. I like this sign in the back. You see all the countries, you see all the ranks. No, this is a great place to do a presentation.
Absolutely. And folks, recognition is so important. I mentioned earlier that your income will be impacted by your rank. That's what I mean. And just give you an idea. See, as a bronze, that means you sponsor one person. As a copper, you sponsor two people. That's the building block. You want to know how to build this business? Make sure that every time someone comes in, they get two people. It's as simple. One on the left, one on the right. As a silver, that means that someone you brought in, or from someone you brought in, someone became a copper, right? You're duplicating the system. As a gold, now you're becoming serious. That's what we call a core rank. That's what you want to reach. You sponsor 5 people into your business, and out of that 3, again, it doesn't have to be one of your personal, but it has to come from someone you brought in, became copper. That means you brought in 2 people. And then you have a total of 25 people in your business. Now you start earning extra bonus, okay? So it goes amazing. Now, when you get to platinum, you know what? You just have one more person that became copper and a few more people on your team. And what happens now, you remember when I talk about tier 1 and tier 2? Well, the difference is tier 2, you make more than double than tier 1 in your cycle. For the same amount of work, you're making more than double the money just by moving up to rank. You see how important that is? As a sapphire, remember when you talk about the matching cycle from up to $1,000 up to $20,000 for every person you bring in? I'm not saying you're going to make that. That's the possibilities, right? So, folks, that's what makes it so exciting. And look at this. You have emerald, ruby, diamond, and so forth. There's so much space for growth here, folks. How can you not be excited about this? That's where Tammy and I support. Let's talk about the support.
Yeah, absolutely. The support is amazing. You've got your personalized referral links. You've got your landing page. You've got your email marketing system. That was really exciting because that's already built in. You've got marketing tools. They're always adding different tools as well, and different languages, which is super exciting. You've got regular online presentations. Some are company driven, and some are team driven. And they're happening all over the world now. So it's nice to see the different languages. And of course, you've got team trainings. Chris and I do team trainings on Saturday. And so for those who are asking questions on how to do this is the sessions that you want to join for sure.
But don't miss this weekend's event.
Oh my gosh, yeah, we're going to share that right at the end.
Absolutely,
Yes.
folks. And at the end of the day, folks, as we come to the end of this presentation, it's a product that everyone needs. It's a business that everyone can afford. That's what makes it so attractive, folks. Right now, if you're just kind of on the fence and you say, okay, I'm not sure, go to GotBackupLive.com. Call the person who invited you today. Or if you just came in and have someone's link, just click on GotBackupLive.com and sign up right now. Don't hesitate. Sign up right now. Folks, it's only $10 a month, but the income possibilities are absolutely endless. Right. So Joel just posted the link here. And Joel, I'd love to bring you back here on stage. Just kind of share your thoughts for the audience. There's a lot of people that might be looking at this for the very first time. Love to hear your thoughts on the importance of getting started now.
Yeah, well, today's really important because at midnight tonight is when everybody who joined through the week gets put into the matrix and so forth. And so Wednesdays is one of our biggest days of the week because of the webinar here and having the cutoff associated with going into the matrix. But yeah, I mean, you guys did an amazing job. It's a product, like we've already said, a product that everybody needs, at a price point that anyone can afford. Like anyone. Guys, we have an office. This is our Texas office here. We had an office in the Ukraine. Of course, with the war going on there, a lot of our staff moved elsewhere. We also have an office in India. And guys, I've been to India twice now to see our teams over there and so forth. And let me tell you, there are people there in all parts of the world that are absolutely not hungry, but absolutely starving for opportunity. And the challenge is, in India, the average salary is about $400 a month. Most auto ships and network marketing companies, and I'm certainly not saying anything bad, just giving you facts, is $100, $150 a month. And of course, in those countries, people can't afford that if they're only making $400 a month. This is an opportunity that anybody can afford. Like nobody in the world thinks about $10. How many people buy more than one coffee a day at Starbucks or Dunkin' Donuts or whatever? And that's what makes me really, really excited. So there was a couple of questions that came in that'll cover. So somebody was asking about and I'm going to keep it very, very real, guys, about our retention rates. Those that are actually using the product, okay? We have about a 93% retention rate. Now, people who sign up with us, about 72% of you start to use the product or service within 3 to 4 days, which is the numbers that I look at, guys, because you don't have a great opportunity if you don't have a great product that people need and people use. And then we do have, of course, those types of people, being brutally honest with you. We see it on a daily basis. I joined yesterday. I don't see any income today. Cancel my account. This isn't for me. And they never even logged into their members area, right? I mean, any of you that's been involved in network marketing in the past know there's the looky-loos. Eric Worre calls them the posers. They're not really, willing to put in the work and so forth. And to be honest with you, the only people that say no when I talk to people are the ones that just don't like network marketing. And that's okay. We're not in the business of convincing people they can make money from home. We're in the business of helping people who want to make money from home and giving them the perfect blueprint to do so. So there was another question here, Isabella, who said, but how do I get people to buy it? Isabella, I 100% resonate with you because I was very introverted. Okay. So the number one thing I would say when I was really introverted is it's hard, right? You get nervous, you get shaky, you don't want to talk to people. The best thing to do when you're introverted is just ask people straight up, do you back up your stuff? Yes or no? If they do, you say, great. Would you be interested in looking at an opportunity that gives you 6 terabytes of space rather than 2? And would you be interested in getting paid to refer others? And they're either going to say yes or no. And here's the other thing too, is if they have objections, okay, even if they're silly objections, validate those objections first. Okay. So some people might say, oh, Joel, I'm such an introvert. I'm really afraid. I don't know if I can do this. You don't say something like, oh, don't be ridiculous. This is very easy to sell. You can do this. You connect with a person by saying, I was exactly the same way. I was scared to death to talk to anybody. I didn't know what to say or what to do. But once I started to get going, it got easier and easier and easier. So believe me, Isabella, if you're introverted and brand new at this, I was too, but we're here to help you move forward. That's the first thing. The second thing, which is very easy to do, is invite people to these webinars. Okay. When they see people from every corner of the globe joining us on these webinars, it becomes very compelling because, and I don't mean this in a disrespectful way, human beings are sheep by nature. In other words, they tend to follow what other people are doing. Yeah. So when you bring people to a webinar like this, it's very compelling to see, there's people in 154 countries around the world using the product. They've shown me the security and the redundancy of the product. Guys, without getting too complicated, because you don't want to get into the technobabble with people, basically the way a cloud works, okay? Our server room is one big cloud, meaning that your data is on about 100 different servers in our server room. So for us to lose any data, like we would have to lose 50 servers all at the same time to lose any data, which just statistically doesn't happen. So it's really about keeping it real, being honest with people, and it's a numbers game as well. You will talk to some people, nope, don't want to back up my stuff, and you know that it's a visceral reaction because they just don't want to be sold. Actually, Tammy and I were talking about this as well too. Very, very often, if people tell me no, okay, that's fine, it's not for you. Thank you very much. We're still good friends. I still love you, but let's move on. And very often people will go, like they'll get startled because they're expecting the fist fight. They're expecting the back and forth. And it's like, no, that's okay. That's fine. And very often what will happen within the coming days, they're like, you weren't pushy and I'm thinking more about it. And I really do need to back up my stuff. So let's take a better look. You know what I mean? So we're not in the business of convincing people. we're in the business of people saying, I like what I see, but can you guide? I'm a little nervous about it all. Can you guide me and help me and give me that blueprint so that I can be successful with it as well?
Absolutely amazing. And folks, again, let's not forget this weekend. You don't want to miss that event. There's going to be a lot of exciting things that are going to be revealed to help you grow your business, to have you to see the opportunity to make more money with GotBackup. Absolutely phenomenal. I recommend you click on the notify me here. Just go right here to this link. I'm just going to put it here in the chat. And if it can just respond.
I went and put it in the chat already,
perfect.
Chris.
Oh,
So
Dude,
go
okay.
click that link, guys, and hit the notify me button so you get notified of when we go live.
Yeah, this is so important. This is how you grow your business. And folks, as Tammy often share, is don't show up alone. Show up with your team. Show up with your team. Because when you show up with your team, you earn while you learn. Okay? Really, really, really important. And the last thing I want to mention here very quickly, folks, just so you have an idea of how this works. When you log in, this is what it looks like. Okay? And you can see your rank over here. You can see all the stuff that you have over here. And here are the two things you need to do. You're brand new in this business. You want to get started. Here are the two things you need to do. Number one, you want to click on use this tool, which will take you right to this website. You can see here the usage of my cloud. You can see I make quite a bit use of it. And you can even upgrade your limit if you want, and install either the Windows version or the Mac version. And you have some wonderful links over here to get more information, installation, and so forth. We just share with you the video for the app. Really, really, really simple, as you can see. It's very intuitive. Okay. The other thing, if you click on auto login, it will take you to the cloud space. Oh, sorry, this one over here. It'll take you to your cloud space. What you see here, and in fact, this weekend, you're going to have some great new features here. But you can see here, I have 3 computers installed, backed up. 3 computers are backed up here. And there's something that I really love here is I can see all my my files from my mobile, right? This is all my mobile. You can see here, if I go back to, let's say, 2024, you can see from January to December, all my pictures are there. If I go back to 2025, obviously, we're just starting the year, you can see your January, February, and March. It's all there, right? If I go to my personal stuff, into my collaborate and share, in this part, you can see, for example, I have GotBackup and everything from this webinar tonight. I have a directory. I go to GotBackup files, and in here I have all my Zoom stuff, all my presentation, all my flyers, all my details. It's all there, right? Everything that I have. Trainings, presentation. I can go in here. I got my personal stuff here. I could go on and on and on and on. It's being organized is such an important thing. It saves you a lot of time. Everything is on my fingertips. You know what I like the best? My phone now is a portal. I can go to my phone with the app, and I can access any documents that are sitting on my computer where normally, I got to go back home and get this document. I'm at the airport and I need it. It's a non-issue. I can access it from my phone right now just by having access to the app that is connected to my cloud. Folks, this is such an amazing service. I highly, highly recommend it. So the 2 things you do: 1, install the software. What's the second thing? Make sure you sponsor 1% on your left, 1% on your right. It's dry in my throat. We're in Texas here. We're not in Florida. So 1% on your left and 1% on your right. Okay, really important. These are the 2 things that you want to do. The other thing is, for example, Isabel, I think it was, you were talking about doing the business. Well, here's the thing. When you click on this link over here, these are all the links. You want to pass this on right away. If someone wants to sign up right away, give them this link over here. If you're doing a campaign on Facebook, use these links over here. If you want someone to try it out for 7 days and have access to the 6 terabyte and see how it feels, I just did that last week with a gentleman in Uganda, right? And you click on this link, boom, you click on that, and the presentation will be here. There's a nice little video they can watch, and then they click on this, and they don't even put their credit cards yet, and they just put the information. Folks, everything is available at your fingertips to build your business and start making money right away. Very, very exciting. So, Joel, as we end here, we're done. Last thought that you want to share with the audience as we finish. I'm not sure if Yeve is still around.
Yeah, she's here. She just, why don't you come on up as well, Yeve? Enable your camera and your audio.
Cool.
There we go.
Yes, I was just.
Sorry, putting you on the spot there.
It's okay. I was just admiring you guys because you presented it so well. I don't even know what to add to everything you said because you said it so right. perfect. It's a beautifully designed app, very convenient, at the fingertips, right? Just on your phone, always with you, very accessible. It's really like, I had so many situations where I would need to have to know some dates of some documents, and I don't have my documents by my side, but you just pull it up on your app and it's all there. So yeah, it's don't know what else to add. You said it all so right.
You said it really well. Thank you, Eve. And Joe, what are your last thoughts, Joel?
Yeah, I'd like to just share, because, you know, I feel sometimes people's energy. And again, I really resonate with this Isabel lady who said, like, how do I even sign people up? I'm brand new, like 2 days in and so forth and stuff like that. One, don't put too much pressure on yourself. And I'm talking not just to Isabella, because this is something that comes up with a lot of people. Take your time, number one, because I see this too. Like, I got an email, and again, keeping it very real, guys, because business is business. I got an email the other day off my personal website, and it was a lady being a little bit stern, polite but stern. She's like, I've been a member for a year and I don't even know how to back up my computer, and I'm so frustrated. So of course we can see on the back end, I logged in, and guess what? She signed up a year and 2 months ago, and the last time she logged in was the day she signed up. Well, how are you going to learn to back up your stuff, guys? And here's where the tough love comes. So to Isabella and everybody else, be part of that 72% adoption rate. Get the product installed on your phone, get it installed on your computer, because when you see it work, that's going to increase your level of confidence one bit more, right? Because the same scenario is true. If you don't install it and you're talking to somebody and they might say, oh, that doesn't work, or I don't need that, or whatever. Well, when I'm talking to people, and Eve, why don't we finish with the real life scenario of when you were doing your immigration, how we needed a file. So when you do have it on your stuff, I show people all the time. It's like, here it is on my phone. I click here. There's all my files and stuff on my phone. It's going to radically increase your confidence when you get it installed on your phone, you get it installed on your computer, And again, talking about the practical application, what Chris just said, my wife became a citizen, 2 months ago now? And
well, not really, in September.
Anyway, it doesn't matter. When it happened. Okay, when did it happen? Because now she's laughing at me.
It happened on September 27th.
Okay, so a little while ago. But anyway, the point was, we forgot one document. And when you're at your ceremony to get indoctrinated into becoming a citizen, you have to have all your paperwork in order, because they were telling us, if you don't have it in order, you got to wait. What was it, like another 7 months or something like that?
Yeah. What was the case, right? I had to present one of my documents, because you have all the chance, all correction, everything that very date. The next day, if they have to do after the ceremony next day some corrections, it will take another year to process, because it's very complicated. So here I am, and it's like far from us. We drove like an hour to downtown of San Antonio, and it's like, there is no way we can go back home to grab the document and bring it back to the ceremony, because we just have no time for that. And then I'm like,
wait,
guess what? I have GotBackup. Yeah, I have it all backed up. And that was just amazing. I was just so relieved, because you can miss the opportunity, right? So it was an amazing. I pulled up the documents, they look at it, okay, that's all right. So all the correction, everything that needs to be done was done, and we just left very relieved and happy.
Another great question, and we'll end it there, Isabella. Yes. So the value proposition with us, guys, because we do own and operate everything, is if you're paying for iCloud, you're going to pay $10 a month, Isabella, okay, for just 2 terabytes of space. Where we're better is we give you 6 terabytes and 6 separate accounts. So now you can give it to your whole family. The other thing I want to make mention of, iCloud is very Apple friendly, right? So you can't back up Microsoft or Windows computers to your iCloud. With us, you can back up anything and everything. You can back up a Mac, you can back up a Windows, you can back up an iPhone, you can back up an Android, you can back up a tablet, you can back up an iPad, you can literally back up everything to your cloud, okay? So that's it. Like you said, people are paying for it already. The difference is with us, we give you more space. And if you refer people, you can actually turn it into a great lucrative and residual income. So I feel where you're coming from, Isabella. Let me share one last story. When I first got online, okay, there's something, a mind once expanded cannot contract. So right now, you've taken a leap of faith, and I'm speaking to everybody. You joined us, but you're scared to death of like, can I do this? I feel you, because when I first got online, I was living in a very, very small townhouse, and my mind could not fathom making a full-time income online, right? So my first goal was, what if I can just make $500 a month? Now, the reason I had that goal was at the time, because I was living in a very small townhouse, that was my mortgage payment. My God, that was a low mortgage payment. But anyway, and what happened is I got to that $500 a month, my mind expanded. Well, $500 a month wasn't that too bad. How do I get to $5,000 a month? How do I actually contribute enough into where I'm actually making a full-time income? And back in, 96, 97, $5,000, and even $5,000 today is still close to a full-time income, $60,000 a year, right? I got to that level. I was like, well, damn, if I can get to 5,000, why not 25,000? And because each little win, celebrating your wins, we were talking about that today, got to 500 a month, got to 5,000 a month, your mind starts to expand. And so as an example, other examples of that, before Roger Bannister ran the 4-minute mile, everybody said it was impossible. Yeah. No human being could ever run a 4-minute mile. He did it. Within months after that, 6 to 7 to 8 other people ran a 4-minute mile. It's the same thing with Eddie Hall. Everybody said, these are power lifters. They all said it's impossible to lift 500 kilograms off the ground. It's just physiologically impossible the way the human body is built. Well, guess what? He lifted 500 kilograms off the ground. Well, you would have thought that world record would have stood for years and years and years. 4 months later, another power lifter lifted 502 kilograms off the ground. So the point being is, when you celebrate those little wins, your mind starts to expand. Your mind starts to expand. God, folks, if we don't do $25,000 a day, I'm like, what a crappy day it's been. But could I even fathom that when I wanted to make just $500 a month? So celebrate your wins, install the software, everybody, learn your tool. That's going to increase your confidence, and celebrate each win. Did you know that if you refer more than 2 people, you're better than 74% of the people who enjoy a network marketing opportunity? True. Celebrate those small wins and don't give up. I mentioned it as well. Yes, there's people who join us tonight and tomorrow morning, oh my God, I didn't make any money, cancel my account. Your account is canceled, right? Be realistic, put in the time, learn your product, come to these webinars, come on the training, don't miss this Saturday. And always ask yourself this, the amount of effort that you're putting into this business, if somebody else was working for you, would you hire them or fire them? I ask myself that same question every day. Am I being productive enough to where I would hire myself or fire myself? That's the other challenge in this industry. If you started a restaurant, Isabella, or anybody else, and you paid $400,000 to get your franchise going, you would work day and night, 18 hours a day, come heck or high water, to make sure that business is successful. The challenge with us, it's a blessing and a challenge. When people spend $10, I can start next week. I can start next month. I can start in 3 months. No, start right now, because the whole world is your oyster. When you own a restaurant, what's your potential marketplace? 20 miles? Maybe you're one of the most world famous chefs in the world. Somebody might travel 100 miles, but that's the extent of your market with your restaurant. With us, we're in 154 countries around the world. Anybody can do this. So sorry for being long-winded, guys. Tammy, Chris, thank you for an amazing job. To my beautiful wife, thank you for supporting us here and so forth. Go to GotBackup Live, guys. Just join the team. It's backed by a 30-day, no questions asked, money back guarantee. Believe me, guys, you won't regret it. You're going to love it. So take action, and we will see you all this Saturday. Over to you, Chris and Tammy.
Thank you so much, Yves. Thank you so much, Joel, folks. I hope that you took some notes here, because that was a special webinar, and I really recommend you pass this on to as many people as you can. It will serve you well, folks. Listen, we'll see you Saturday. Thank you so much for the wonderful comment and feedback, and we will see you next time. Bye for now.
Have a great night, everybody. Love you all. Take care. Bye-bye.